Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I'm going to explain to you what it would take for me to be able to run my air conditioners off of solar. Now that's something not many people do, and there's a very good reason for it. But I have heard from several people who do have their system set up so that they can and do run their air conditioning off of solar. So I'm explaining to you what it takes, and then I'm explaining to you why I don't do it. Now, to begin with, one of the things you really need is enough solar panels. And I think I do have enough solar panels. I have 1260 watts of solar on my roof, non-tiltable. However, I do have room for two more 180 watt panels, which would give me 1620 watts, which would be ideal for having enough solar collection to run an air conditioner. And secondly, I have lithium batteries. And you don't have to have lithium batteries to run air conditioning off of solar, but it works much more efficiently in several ways, and you can run your air conditioner much longer off of lithium batteries than any other type of batteries. Now I have 600 amp hour total lithium batteries. If I had 750, that would really be ideal. If my batteries are just slightly larger, which they actually were not available at the time I got mine, but now they are making lithium batteries that are larger than your standard 100 amp hour batteries. Now there are three major upgrades in my equipment I would have to do to run air conditioning off of solar. Number one, I would need a larger solar controller. The one I have now is a 60 amp solar controller, which worked just fine for what I'm using, but to run the air conditioner I would need a 100 amp controller. So I'd have to upgrade that, which would not be a major thing, although, you know, that's would probably cost me somewhere around $600 for a new controller and labor to install it if I couldn't figure out how to do it myself. And then I would need a larger inverter. I have a 2000 watt inverter which has a 30 amp fuse on it. So to run solar and my other equipment as well through the inverter, that's not going to be enough. I would need at least a 3000 watt inverter. And again, those are fairly expensive. And then, number three, I would have to rewire my two air conditioners through the inverter. Now, I don't think any RVs come from the factory with the air conditioners wired through the inverter, because that's something that well over 99% of people are not going to do. So I would have to hire an electrician to come in and rewire my air conditioners through my inverter, and I have no idea what that would cost. So all of those 3 or 4 or 5 upgrades would be very, very expensive. But if I did go through all that, the time and trouble and money to do all the upgrades so that I can run my air conditioners off of solar, I would still be limited to running my air conditioners just a few hours during midday when it's clear skies and it's really hot. Although, on the other hand, that's when you're really going to need it. It's just a few hours a day during midday when it's really hot. Because early in the day and late in the day, you're not getting enough solar collection in order to run the air conditioners and everything else you need to run off of the inverter. But me, personally, when I would really need the air conditioning is at night, after midnight. Because during the day, if it's a really hot day in the middle of the summer like it is now, and I'm not plugged into electricity, I'm boondocking, I can find ways to keep cool enough to survive during the day. I can find ways to keep cool enough so that it's not a big problem for me. It does get super hot in this motorhome on a hot day, but just going outside in the shade, getting a little wind, makes a big difference. And during the day, I'm usually out doing things anyway. I'm out scooting around, seeing the sights of wherever I might be visiting. But late in the day, I've noticed pretty consistently that really it doesn't really start cooling down inside the motorhome until really late at night, like after midnight. So that's really when I would want the air conditioning the most, is really after dark. But you can't run your air conditioners off of solar at night, because you cannot run air conditioning strictly off of your batteries. You need the power assist from the solar panels to give enough power, enough amps to run those air conditioners. Now, I have seen videos from other RV YouTubers who have gone through what it takes to run air conditioners off of solar, and they seem to be thrilled with it. That's fine, but the reason why I have not done it and have no plans on doing it is because of two things. Number one, the huge cost in getting it done, and not only that, the time and trouble it takes to do it, finding someone to do all these things. And every time you go to an RV shop to get anything done, they want you to come back in 3 weeks because the RV business is just going crazy. So I don't want to have to go through all that, and I get by fine without it, at least during the day. Now, when I am boondocking and it's really hot after midnight, I need to go to bed and get some sleep, which I cannot do when it's hot. I really have a terrible time getting any sleep at all when it's hot. I will turn my generator on and run my air conditioner all night if I have to. But generally, I'll run my air conditioner off of my generator just for a couple hours to really cool the bedroom down, and then I'll turn it off. And then a couple hours later, when the bedroom warms back up, I'll turn it back on and cool it down for another hour. So I don't usually need to have it running all night long. And running the air conditioner through the generator is not terribly expensive. It probably costs like $2 or $3 an hour in fuel to run my air conditioner off of my generator. Everything is all set up to do that. It's not terribly expensive, so that is working out just fine for me. Now, you can find a lot of videos about running RV air conditioners off of solar, but in my opinion, especially for me, it is just not worth it. So I hope this video has helped you. Good day, folks.